What's up, CT? I'm here with Bridgeport-raised producer Mo Woods for episode 94. Mo, could you introduce yourself to them?
Yo, what's poppin', everybody? I'm Mo Woods. My real name is Mauricio Woods, if you know me. I was raised in Bridgeport, born in Stanford, based out of Atlanta now. Basically, yeah. I came from a real athletic background, right? I played a lot of sports. I played a lot of football. But then I had this knee injury, so I ended up just making music on my free time. I always been kind of like dabbling into instruments and shit, but really like when I had that time alone after I got hurt, that's when I really like dove into it, like around 2017.
What position did you play?
Quarterback.
Oh, word. So that knee injury was a big one then.
Yeah, bro. It sucked because I just came back from a collarbone injury.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's tough, but feel me, I feel like things happen for a reason.
Yeah. Yo, I actually have a collarbone injury too. All down here, broke right down like that. So
Bro, I swear to you,
what you said?
didn't I don't know how you got to the hospital, but when I went to the hospital and I was in the car, I felt like every bump we rode over, like it hurt.
Oh, yeah, bro. So I actually didn't go the first night. I ended up just going home and I was staying there. And the next day I was like, yeah, I have to end up going. Because like you said, you don't realize that it really like when I moved, even if I like moved this arm, I could feel it all right here. If I move my leg, it's like it's connected everywhere.
Yeah, that shit does suck.
So when you said you got your injury, then you started dabbling into music. Was it production initially or were you doing other stuff?
So I actually started rapping first. And really what got me into making beats was I wanted more beats to rap on. Like I wanted to make my own shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't really find no beats that I really rocked with off of YouTube. So I was like, fuck it. About to make some Mo Woods beats. And yeah, I ended up starting to do it like a lot more often. And kind of like it helped me out a lot, even as being an artist too. Like it helped me get a new ear, like a new perspective, approaching it kind of. And it's something like I'm really thankful for because at first I was always like, I just want to record, like I'm trying to rap, I'm trying to be the center of attention. But nah, bro, it's like it's not even like that no more. It's just I just love making music, so whatever I could do, feel me. That's just what I like doing.
That's awesome. I think it's really important to find your lane and then really grow in it. And the fact that you realize that, hey, maybe I don't need to be the center of attention, but you're finding that since you're not, you're really loving music more and more. That is key. You know, you want to do this because you love it, and there's probably people out there that don't love it that are doing it. So it's always nice to see a fresh face that's doing that. There you go, bro. So who were your musical inspirations growing up? You were talking earlier before we got on about Jeezy and the others from the South.
Yeah. Uh, Really, besides Jeezy, I really appreciate Jeezy because he kind of introduced me to trap, and you know his raspy ass voice is really like iconic. So it's like I fuck with Jeezy's trap shit, but what other hip hop do I fuck with? Fucking with Kanye since I was a kid because my dad would play in the car and shit. I fuck with Travis Scott since I was younger, like around eighth grade is when I first found out about him, and I was really fucking with him. And then I kind of got distant. And then around 2016, I really got back into him, and then that nigga just blew up. So I'm just like really happy for him now. But really, Jeezy, Travis Scott, Big Sean for rapping probably, and Future. Like you talking rappers. But on the uh, producer side, I got Pyrex, Southside, pretty much the whole 808 Mafia. Wonder Girl, Mike Dean, uh, Zay Token. I don't know, bro. I just fuck with everybody's sound. Like I like I like everything. You feel me? I like pieces of everything. I feel like I like to incorporate a little bit of everything into my shit whenever I can.
Interesting. So from a producer standpoint, at least from a listener standpoint, I can somewhat tell what beat is from like the big producers. You know, like if I hear a Murda beat, I know it's from Murda. If I hear a Metro beat, I know it's from Metro. So from a producer standpoint, how do you find that sound and then run with it?
I don't know, bro. I think the more time you spend thinking about it is the more time you can use to put towards your craft. Cause even me, like I'm still trying to find my sound, and people think I have a sound, but bro, I just be making music. You feel me? It comes eventually. You kind of get into a vibe that you fuck with pretty often, and then you kind of tweak it here and there.
Word. So let's actually get into some of the songs that you have produced before. So the big one is For the Better, and that's with Pasto Flacco and Bugsy Sicklo.
Basically, I was in this. Actually, I met this dude right at this Life and Friends show. Shout out Life, by the way. He got me, into the show for free a couple of times. He hooked your boy up. But basically, I met a rapper there named Billy Banks, and I fucked with him. I thought he was real different. He's from New York. He had a little bit of a different swag compared to everybody else. So I came up to him after his performance, and I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to send you some beats. Let's work." Feel me? So he was down. He gave me his email. I started sending him beats. He was fucking with me, and then it eventually turned out to like his management like reaching out to me and like getting me to their studio in Brooklyn. And the first time I went, I was supposed to work on a project with Billy, but I don't even think we made any songs. I don't think I made any shits with him that night, bro. I just think that Paso Flock and Bugsy came to the studio and they ended up rapping on one of my beats that I cooked up there. And then that's kind of how that song started.
Damn, and the rest is history. That is now on SoundCloud at 76.9 thousand, bro. Talk about how that makes you feel.
That makes me feel amazing because like I used to look at shits on SoundCloud with that many plays, and I used to be like, damn, like what do I got to do to work on a project to get that many numbers? Like, but it just happened there, like it just fell into my lap. You feel me? That you just keeping good relationships with people and just reaching out. Sometimes working for free will get you opportunities like that. You know.
Yeah, let's dive into that because that was something that I really like that you brought up before this interview. You said it's really about the genuine connections, and that's the truth. You see a lot of people, and not that they're doing shady business, but they just aren't doing stuff organically or genuinely. And when you see others doing it, it's a beautiful sight. So I want to hear why and how you went about that way.
Basically, I don't know, bro. I just always wanted to make music with people, and I was listening to like a lot of producers' advices about like don't get free beats, this and that. But when you first coming up, bro, like nobody knows who you are, so you obviously can't really sell beats if nobody knows who you are. Like your beats could be fire, but sometimes you gotta have a little something backing that up, a little value. Give people, some of your previous work, even if you think it's ass, it's better than not having anything out. You feel me? And yeah, and it really taught me a lot. Just working with everybody, working for free. That's what got me all these opportunities that I've gotten so far. To be honest, just loving to make music, bro, and just being cool with people, just chilling, having a good time, really.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing is to plant the seed and let it like water it and let it grow. But one, don't flood it. You don't want to pour so much where you're like hitting the person
Right.
OD. And also, you
Yeah.
gotta sit back and relax and let it just grow on its own. So if you're constantly pounding it or putting the sun right on it, it's not gonna grow at the rate that you need it to. So
Yeah,
that's what I
exactly.
beautiful with what you're doing.
Word. I like how you put that. That was fire.
So to piggyback on that, my analogy of what I'm doing with the breakthrough is that, I have all these seeds that I'm planting, but it's all of them. So I have this huge garden, and the garden is
Word.
what I'm watering. So, one day my hydrangeas might need a little bit more attention than the daisies, but other days
Word.
the daisies need it. So I
Right.
treat the hydrangeas and the daisies like sometimes I need to do more stuff with the podcast. Sometimes I need to do more stuff with my artist development. It really just is like, what does today offer? And, never force anything.
Word.
So that's why I say like some days, some
Sure.
things need more because I'm not forcing it to like constantly hound on one thing each day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, right. And most importantly, I think asking to work with people for free, it's kind of hard because music is a business at the end of the day. So if you're not coming with some type of money sign, probably gonna get left on red, but can't really be too mad at that. I think when I first started, I kind of took that too personal. Like nobody wanted to collab with me for free. Like I'm like, damn, y'all are like some money hungry like animals. But then I realized like you gotta pay for their time pretty much and their value too at the same time.
Yeah. No, I feel that it is hard. Like especially like back when before I started the breakthrough, I was almost afraid to DM people. Like it was not my thing to just reach out randomly. So I can only imagine trying to reach out as a young producer, just being like, "Hey, like I got these beats. You want to get on?" Because these artists, they get probably hundreds of those things, but like how many of them are genuine? How many of them are just mass sending it to every single artist that they have? And how many of them are like you that are like, hey, I really like your music. I want to work with you. That's a difference.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah.
Awesome. So there is the Connecticut artist, Phil, and you produced his song Answers featuring 4-5. So let's talk about how that came into fruition.
Shoot, basically, so I sent Phil some beats right before the project was about to finish because he has like a deadline for his projects. So right before the deadline, I sent him one more pack, and that ended up being the song. And it turns out I didn't even know 4-5 was going to be on it, but once I found out, I was like, "Yo, I know this dude." I asked to send him beats before when I was younger, so now like a couple years later, it's like, oh, we on the same track now. Like it's kind of
It all
funny.
comes
He's
full
from New York.
circle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you said you send packs. Talk about the difference of sending packs out to people and then making the beat in the session with the artist.
I like making the beat in the moment better, cause I'll just go off like I don't know. I'm just real like I don't know. I just like talking to people while I'm in the studio. You feel me? I don't want to just be quiet. So whatever I'm feeling off the moment, whatever we talking about, like that's is gonna talk through the music. So because of that, I just like to make it in person. If I'm sending like beats over the email, I don't really know what they're feeling at the moment. So it's kind of like feel me? It's kind of like a blind thing. But if you're cooking it in person, he can actually like tell you what he wants. You feel me? It's a lot easier.
Yeah, you can really go, like you said, go off the vibes. And that's really important because like I've seen multiple people make great beats, but send it to not the right artist to hop on. So it's like, yeah, that was a great beat. And then you kind of think, oh, maybe my beat wasn't that good. But it's like, no, you just got to read the room and know who you're sending to. And, if you're not sending and you're actually in the room with the artist, then maybe that's, you can see like, hey, is their head bobbing? Are they like, yo, turn that shit up? Like, or are they like,
Yeah,
I'm not feeling that. Like, next one.
yeah, definitely.
That's sweet. Oh, so there's another song. You have COVID 20. And let me get, is it Moolah first?
Yeah,
Okay, so talk about that song.
my boy Mula. He's from Toronto. It's kind of weird how I met him. Like we started off on bad terms because I sent beats to somebody else for a placement with Def Jam, and he ended up giving the beat to Moolah, and I kind of got pissed at him because he didn't talk to me about nothing. He just dropped it. He tagged me in the post, but like, you feel me? I wanted, again, I was being money hungry. I wasn't really evaluating it like logically. I was kind of just thinking about the money first.
Yeah.
So then we kind of like talked it out, and now like like I'm getting so much love from Toronto. Like everybody's like, "Yo, you and Moolah, like y'all are crazy." I'm like, and then Moolah's like, "Yo, he just wants me on every project." So it's just cool. It's kind of beautiful how it turned out when you kind of go at it from a genuine spot. Just think about the music, and him and I just go together effortlessly. To be honest, like it's wild.
Yeah. And that's so cool that it seems like with Billy, with Mula, you got these artists that you built the connections with that you're like actually able to, you understand their sound and they understand what you're going to bring to the plate. So when that is like all figured out, the chemistry is just going to be on another level.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
That's awesome, bro. And then Osan had Pi O 24. So let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Had Man, that's like but I was born in Stanford, right? So I ended up moving from Bridgeport when I turned 18. I'm 19 now, I'm about to turn 20, but when I was 18, I moved back to Stanford and I needed some artists to work with because I knew nobody in Stanford. And shout out Scubalicious, that's my cousin, but he told me like a bunch of artists I should fuck with in the city, and he really like showed me like who I should work with, and he was showing me everybody. And that's what happened. I ended up linking with Osan, and he ended up living right down the street from me. Like he, because my family we live in like one area,
Mhm.
and where he lives is like he's just been there like our whole childhood, and I had no idea. And now we making music together. And Steve 24, that's how I met Steve, because Steve ended up doing the song with Osan. And that shit ended up being hard. And I was like, yo, who's Steve 24? That name's hard. And we started working with him. So yeah.
That's great. And what I really like is that from these four songs that we just listed, two were from CT artists and two were outside of CT. So it's really cool to see you branching out. And could you tell me what really uh, is the distinguishing characteristics of? I know you can't really pinpoint a CT artist just yet, but when you make music with artists outside of the state compared to artists in the state, is there any things that you notice more with CT artists?
Yeah, so the CT artists really like my unorthodox shit, like my real unique shit, I kind of noticed. And then the people from outside, they fuck with the shit that I'm not gonna say is like everything else, but it's definitely not as, experimental as my other shit. Those beats that I made for people outside of Connecticut are like I'm making a hard ass, lit ass beat most of the time. But with Connecticut artists, they really like my beats where I'm like, okay, let me try some different shit.
That's really cool. I in the back of my mind, I have noticed that with a lot of CT artists that they are more experimental than what you'd consider the mainstream cities have, whether it's Atlanta, New York City, LA, and Chicago. They all have characteristically staple sounds, and
Yeah,
everybody else is going to try to subconsciously gravitate towards that sound, whether whichever one it is they like. But that's interesting that you say CT's kind of branching out and trying to do their own thing, being experimental. And what would you consider an experimental beat?
shit, bro. That's tough. I think it's more like I think it depends on you and your style. Whatever you're used to, whatever is experimental is going to be away from what you're used to. You feel me?
Okay, I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's very subjective.
Yeah, 100%. That makes sense. And because something that is, the usual for one artist may be completely left field for another, and vice
Yeah,
versa.
exactly. And it ties back into what I said about making the beat, in person versus sending it out. You don't know if the artist wants something that nobody's ever heard before, if they just want a track where they could just turn, to the club up with.
100%. So you're down in Atlanta right now. So talk about the decision to go down there, what you're going to be doing down there, and basically just the moves.
Yeah, so basically, I feel like Atlanta is really like bubbling right now in terms of like the music scene. And I feel like my sound could do really well down here. So that's what kind of made me want to do it. So I ended up moving down here with my manager and, my boy, Osan, like we mentioned before with the song.
Yep.
He's down here with me. So we're just a whole bunch of artists and producers just working, bro, just trying to seize every opportunity that's in front of us. And so far, it's been pretty nice. I don't want to speak on much right now, but it's really lit. Like so far, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that what you're doing, especially you said you're with a bunch of artists and producers, just being around the scene. And when you're around like minded people, the exponential growth compared to when you're around, I don't want to say regular people, but non-creative people, it's
Yeah.
significant. And so when you surround yourself with a bunch of people, yeah, I can only say I'm excited to see the growth of Mo Woods.
Right. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, man. All right, so let's get into the project.
Yeah, so I got the word from a blog writer. I don't know if you know her, as told by Megan.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
love Megan.
yeah. She put me onto the term. I used to be cool with her back then when I really like first started getting started with music. So I always thought that word stuck out, but I never saw anybody use it. And I was like, yo, it's like a word with our state. I think we need to make a statement. Fuck it. I'm gonna just put Connecticut, like wherever my name is, Connecticut's there. You feel me? So I just had to put it there.
I love it. So this is when you had a bunch of artists that you had previously been working with. Like you said, you had worked with Steve 24, Billy Banks, and those were the two that we had talked about previously. But let's start talking, go through each song. You have Making Shit Jump as the intro, featuring Midnight Z and Steve 24. Why did you choose this as the intro?
So really, like when I make music, like I'm really high energy. Like I'm a high energy person, so I just like being hyper. So I feel like albums with like really hype intros are like, I don't know, it just hits different to me. So I wanted to really like, start off with a statement like Connecticut Cutthroat. It's letting you know Connecticut got some cutthroat artists, we're really like different. So why not just start it off with something that's really in your face, like Cutthroat. So, I had a dope ass track with me and my boy Tyreek or Mahari. We produced that, and then Steve 24 on the beat switch. That was just me by myself. Free 24, by the way. I hope he comes home soon. But yeah, repping Connecticut till I die.
Love it, man. Okay, so then you go into Beat the Odds, and that's featuring Lazy, Osant, and Jugs.
Yeah. So that ended up being like that was originally supposed to be my boy Osant's record.
Yeah.
I asked him like, bro, can I use it for my project, please? Like this production is like different. Like I really want to showcase this to people. I think it's trap, but it's very like it's got a different tune to it. So I just really wanted something different. So he said, yeah, he gave me the go ahead, and I was like, let's go.
Right.
I fuck with that. It's so heavy.
And that just shows the genuine connection you have with Osant.
Hell yeah, that's my boy.
That's so dope. So then you got AP and BK.
Yeah.
And that's with
Wow.
Pablo and Billy.
Yeah. So I ended up sending some beats to Billy. This is around the time where I first met him. So sent him that beat, and they ended up tearing it up. That's when I found out about Hogo. He's also from New York. They're all from Queens. But yeah, I feel like we all got a good chemistry there because they really can match the energy. I feel like with my real lit shit.
That's awesome. Then that's what you need when you have the energy. You can't just get an artist that ain't gonna match it. If you find that artist, perfect.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
so then you go into the interlude, and this is the trill shit interlude. So let's talk about this. And this what you co-produced with another producer, right?
Yup. My boy Sean. So he's from Toronto. I have a producer group called Hit House.
Yep.
It's basically a bunch of internet friends that produce, and we met each other on the Discord server. We really got close, and now it's like we got people in Turkey, got people in Mass, Virginia, Florida, Atlanta. I met a couple of them already. It's kind of wild. We're kind of all over the place, and I feel like we're gonna be the next thing. If you want me to be honest, I really I bet money on my guys, like for sure. Even Broken Productions, my manager's producing group, they're really up next too. I bet money on these niggas too. So yeah.
Bro, that's sweet. Literally the next internet money.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. It's like me, Hit House, and Broken Productions. We just do a lot of work together, and it's just crazy. I'm just excited for what we got coming forward.
Yeah, I can only imagine, and I'm excited for you guys. So, yeah, this is exciting. To take a quick step away from these songs, though, I brought up Internet Money. What was your opinion on their project? Was it Before the Storm that just dropped?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't really listen to it, bro, if I'm being honest. I grew up like, Internet Money really helped me on how to produce and shit when they first, came up on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I know their songs are hard. Like, don't get me wrong, like their songs are fire. Songs are beautiful, but I don't know. I just haven't been in a really music listening mood. I really just been in my own world lately, just trying to, you know, get my project started and shit. But when I'm looking for some inspiration, I'm gonna definitely like listen to it and check it out.
Yeah, that's dope. So what I saw that they did was they took I think it was a beat pack, and they said that every beat pack that was sold was basically an album sale. So it helped them get up the charts. So from a producer standpoint, talk about your opinion on that.
Bro, that is crazy because me like first finding out about them when we were so small, bro, it just really goes to show like just having genuine connections and the internet together, that shit is just crazy. Cause it's kind of similar to how I met Hit House, you feel me? Like just over the internet, we're trying to put our beats out on YouTube and shit, but we're just really big on like in-person connections now. And we have a ton of placements and we got a ton more placements coming up. It's just crazy. I feel like the internet really is allowing like creatives to put themselves out there. Like it's not like the '90s. Like anybody could really do this shit. Like there's enough space in the market for everyone. Like who doesn't listen to music?
Yeah, facts. It on Big Sean's album that just dropped. He said the dumbest shit he ever heard was people saying you have to go stop music and go to school. He's like, why do you have to do that? In all honesty, why?
Yeah,
And it's true,
yeah,
because if you put your mind to it, that's the thing. If you sit there and you really refine it and you manifest it every day, the success is going to come. It's those people that are doubting themselves and deciding, I'm not going to make a beat today. It's like, no, it's the people that sit down and are like, all right, I'm off work. I'm going to go do some FL Studio shit. Like,
yeah, for sure. It's really you gotta envision it, man. It's like you really like who you want to be in the future. You gotta really envision it and really go accordingly. Like if I want to be like this, what do I have to do right now to do that? And that's how you gotta move going forward if you really want to make it happen.
facts. A lot of people get so fixated on the finish line, not realizing that the journey is the finish line. You know, you're
Right.
striving for the end goal, but it's like, wait a minute, you got to live in the moment and realize that every little thing is what's important. You got to get to the next step. You have, one step at a time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's really no finish line. The market is huge. You can make as much money as you want. This is how you go about it. So yeah.
What I always try to tell people is, do you think Drake is content with his work? Do you think Kendrick is content with their work? No, they're gonna go in there and think they can get higher. I was watching a Benny the Butcher episode, and he's like, y'all are like trying to get me to hop on track. He's basically like, I'm still trying to climb. He's like, I understand you producers are fire, and there's probably some dope producers that are DMing me stuff. He's like, but I have the opportunity to work with the Metro Boomins, the No IDs. He was just listing off a bunch of big producers. He's like, I am just like you guys trying to climb. I'm nowhere near where I want to go. So why would, granted, I'm still going to work with the producers, but why would I not take the opportunity to sit in a room with Hit Boy? Like, and it's very true. We're
Yep,
all trying to
yep,
climb. We're all trying
yep.
to grind. So what he was saying was, hey, if you are a not big producer and you send me something, send me some of your wild shit. Don't send me the thing that sounds like an Atlanta trap beat, the Atlanta trap beat number 005. No, send me the one that you're like, whoa, this is different. Just like you were talking about with Connecticut artists, that different sound.
Yeah.
You got to stand out.
No, for sure. Hell yeah.
All right, so let's get back into the songs. The second to last one is Outside, and that's with Snosa and Ty Henny, which my personal favorite on the project. That was fire.
Word, I appreciate that. Um, shit. Shout out my manager Shizzy. He helped me get that song out. He got that beat to Snosa, and that's how I got cool with Snosa. She also moved down here to Atlanta too. And then she ended up getting Ty Henny on the feature because they're pretty cool. So it kind of, I don't know, another blessing, you feel me? And that shit was fuego. My boy Sean from Toronto, that nigga killed the melody. Oh my goodness. When I heard it, I was like, I have to make this shit lit, but this shit, the melody is gonna really like make it, and it did like crazy.
That is funny you say that because the melody is what really caught my attention. That shit was
Hell yeah,
fire, bro.
he went crazy. He does that all the time, effortlessly, like it's crazy.
So
He's hit house.
okay, bet. So is he always the one making the melodies and sent over to you? Do you make your own melodies? What's your position with the group?
Um, I mean, I started the group. I don't really take on like a certain position. Like, I'll own up to the owner part of it. But really, I just do whatever. Like, I just make beats. We send each other melodies. Like, we all make melodies. We all make beats. We all kind of mix. Like, we really just some creators just trying to. My fault.
No worries.
Yo, my fault, bro. I had a call. Hold up.
Okay, started recording again.
All right, yeah, we all just make beats, make melodies. Like we all do everything. So it's really cool when we get together because we can really make the craziest shit. And it's crazy because a lot of us don't even have like big placements like that, and our sound is crazy.
It's at the point where as soon as there's that one big one, you guys are off to the races.
And that's why I moved to Atlanta. It's really to not only give myself opportunities, but it's also to open doors to people that I fuck with in Connecticut. My people from Broken, my people from Hit House. Broken's helping me like with all this shit here down south. You feel me? Shizzy's been going off, like helping me out, real shit.
You know, it's really important to find those people that sit and actually help you get to where you want to go and guide you and mentor you.
Hell yeah. Yo, he's a bro now. It's crazy.
That's so great. All right, and then your last track, Love, ISO Vote. Yep. So why did you decide to have this as the outro?
I don't really have any slow songs on the project, so I was like, I want to get ISO on the project because I really love working with him. We also have good chemistry. He's from Stanford, and I was like, bro, I need this song on there. Like I remember listening to it, and there's just something about it, like the message. I feel like it really hits as an outro. It really makes like leaves it on a cliffhanger where it's like kind of like oh shit. So I really fuck with it as an outro, but I have my.
So you have the deluxe dropping this Friday. What can we expect from that?
It's not gonna be so much Connecticut artists. It's just a few more songs I have with some other people that I really think should get out there. I think people need to hear. It's definitely gonna be just as fun as the project I just dropped. So once I do that, then it's gonna be up on all platforms soon. So and then I got some visuals coming. You can try and guess which song, but I do got some visuals coming out for the song.
Oh, I'm excited. I'd love to see some visuals. And are you going to be in them as well as the artist, or you taking it behind it? See,
Hell
that's
yeah.
what I like. I like seeing the producer also be a celebrity.
Yeah, hell yeah. Bro, it's crazy because like I'm really trying to bring like how kind of like Murder has like you can match a name to the face.
Yeah.
Or the face and name. Like I'm really trying to make like MOWOODSX like that shit. Like I'm like an artist, but I do everything. You feel me? So I wanna be treated as an artist. I want eventually, like, that's why I'm dropping projects. I want to be treated as an artist because I really feel like the art of making a beat is very underestimated in a lot of cases. Because a lot of times we don't get credit, a lot of times we don't get paid, a lot of times we get fucked over. So it's like, let's see if we could really try and, like, change how people look at producing. Really make it like, wow, like, this guy is huge, and just really show producers like, hey, you don't gotta, like, feel me, you don't gotta be a bottom feeder. You don't gotta kiss any artist's ass. You feel me? You could work at your own pace and still create a name for yourself.
Yeah, 100%. So talk about how much you've liked picking artists at your level and growing with them compared to trying to reach and pick the low hanging fruit from this big celebrities.
um, yeah, if you do that, if you always trying to get the big placement, you're gonna have a very frustrating time because, you know, even for bigger producers, like, it doesn't happen all the time unless you're, like, really buzzing at the moment. That's not to say that you don't have the potential to do it, but you can make music where you don't have to work with the biggest artists and still make a living from it. You feel me? It's just about numbers at the end of the day. So just make good music with the people you really like fuck with and their sound, and just try to grow with them. Of course, still try and get the placement, but try and grow with, like, the artists, that's around you that you feel like got potential. Because when y'all come up, they're gonna be like this. Y'all gonna be making money like that. And when y'all don't gotta pay each other for features and beats, it just makes the process a whole lot easier.
Everything's just streamlined.
Yup.
That's sweet. So before we get into the make you think questions, let's bring up the X in your name because you wanted to talk about that. Why is it silent and why is it there?
Yeah. So the X is for number 10. Well, it's multiple reasons, but one of them being number 10. I first started playing instruments when I was 10 years old in middle school. Uh, Number 10 was also my favorite number for any sport. Like, if I had a choice to pick a number, it was going to be 10. Sadly, I never got to, pick my number in high school because my school's poor as fuck and we only had certain numbers. But if I had a choice, it definitely would have been 10. Um, but I ended up being 5 and 6. Yeah, and I love Elon Musk. Elon Musk is like one of my idols. So the SpaceX thing, I took the X from the end. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I like that.
like, appreciate that.
And so why is it silent then?
I don't know. It's just MOWOODSX. Like, it kind of makes it sound superficial. So I'm just like, just call me Mo or Mo Woods. Feel me? The X is still there. Feel me, for the symbolism, but you don't gotta say it.
Yeah. No, I like that. I definitely explains a lot. And I think it goes and like you said, you see it there, but you don't need to say it perfectly fine. And then you got your beat tag, which is watch this hit by Woods. So how did
Yeah.
that come into fruition?
True. So I had did a screen recording of some NFL highlights of a Cowboys game. I forgot who they were facing, but some safety named Woods, like, popped somebody, like, he hit him, like, real hard, and I was like, damn, I gotta post this. Posted it on Snapchat, and I was like, yo, Woods really go in, like, and my last name is Woods, so I was trying to fake flex. I was like, yeah, I'm related to him. I was just talking shit. Somebody was like, yo, what the commentator said, like, you should use that as a tag. I heard it, and I was like, hmm. So I put it into one of my beats, and some girls I was chilling with, some of my friends, they was like, yo, that's just fire. I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna keep it. Yeah.
Bro, I was actually yesterday just in the car driving and I was thinking like, how do people think of these beat tags? Like just like trying to think of like a new one, like how you'd even be able to figure out one that is like
Yeah.
different from the other ones. And then this morning I went and I was listening to some of your music and I heard Watch This Hit by Woods and I was like, wow, that's unique, different. I like it.
Word. I appreciate that. Yeah. That was me. Like before I got there, like I was always like, damn, I hate my tag. Like MOWOODS. That shit's kind of like corny to me. I didn't want to just say my name, so I was like, I need a new tag. And then when my boy gave me that idea, I was like, it's perfect. Like I love football. I played it, since I was a kid, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, it ties in together with your history.
Hell yeah.
That's sweet. Awesome. Well, thank you for that answer. Now that I know everything about the behind the scenes stuff, the beat tag, the X in your name, all the shit I
Hell
was
yeah.
wondering, but awesome.
Hell
So
yeah.
now we can get into the make you think questions. I gave you some time before to now you know these questions, but I'll ask them again. So the first one is if you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Future.
Why?
Cause bro, you don't know if you hear my beats and you hear Future on it, don't you? Like, I think that's a banger. Like my personal opinion, I think if I get a track with Pluto himself, I think we go on to Pluto. Feel me?
I love that. And what I can't say that he is underrated because we all know he's a goat. We all know it. But there's a lot of people that aren't they're like so focused on like one side of hip hop that they won't look at the other side. I try to look at all sides.
Oh
And
yeah.
what I can say is that just looking at his catalog, bro, just he is a legend. Like for example, my favorite project by him is actually Honest. Like back in the day, like he had some songs on there. Like I think it was called Ben's Friends with Andre 3000, bro. Just like
Word.
Future was spitting, like he was spitting like he had something to prove, and I was like, oh, like in my head I went, oh, this is why he's an A-list celebrity. Like I heard it.
Yes, yes, yes. That's my boy. I love Future.
Bro, yeah. What's your opinion on Young Thug? Because I know there's the big debate between Future, Young Thug.
Oh, him too. He's a fucking goat too. I love, bro. If it wasn't Future that I picked for that question, it's either gonna be Young Thug or Travis Scott.
See, I could see them all just like fitting well with the type of beats that you make.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's wild.
It's the I feel like the linguistics that come with their voices could just tie in well with the melodies and beat choices that you have.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. That shit would be fire. That's a goal, man. We gonna get there though.
Slowly but surely, right?
Yup.
Watering those seeds.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. So the next question, if you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say?
Damn, bro. All right, if I had 30 seconds to say something to the world, that would be what I would have to say. Yes. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not a talker. I have a lot of energy, but I don't talk a lot. I like to express through like music or like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a talker, bro.
So would you play one of your songs then?
Yes, yes. I play my favorite song,
And what is that?
"Coordinate" by Travis Scott. Yeah.
Ooh, is that off of Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight?
Yes, yes.
I'm trying to remember. I have the beat in my head, so I remember which one. That's interesting. And why is it your favorite?
Okay, so first of all, that song by itself, like that song is like a drug within itself. Like that shit'll make you high just listening to it on blast. Uh, so only imagine when you already know.
Yeah.
But it's just the beat produced by TM88. That beat goes crazy because it's so dark, but it's got the trap elements of 808 Mafia to it. And what's crazy about that beat is that the same beat was used by Juicy J, but in a different key.
Really?
Crazy. Hell yeah.
So was it that the melody was in a different key and then the 808s were tied to the different key?
No, just everything. Like even the 808s, like were changed in key. Like the Juicy J version is a little brighter. Travis Scott's version is way darker. to fit like his voice and his vibe.
Was it more? It was that because it was like a more chopped and screwed version, or is it just
Mm. It was the beat wasn't chopped and screwed, but Travis Scott's vocals are very like chopped and screwed influence. So I
okay,
think that's probably why he
from?
from
He's from, is it Houston, Texas, right?
yeah, yeah.
So he got that inspiration from, what was it? I'm blanking.
DJ Screw.
Yeah, DJ Screw.
Yeah,
But that shit's so fire.
I know.
I used to be a huge fan of Rocky when he was like really inspired by DJ Screw and that whole movement. So I've always been a huge fan of chopped and screwed stuff.
Word. Yeah. ASAP Rocky goes hard too. He needs to drop more.
What I say is that, and I'm pretty sure he brought this up in an interview too. Like for example, testing was ahead of its time. Like testing
Yeah.
was it was popular music for 2021 or 2022, but it was dropped in 2018. So
Hmm.
I'm starting to re-listen to it, and I'm like, ooh, like "Fuck Sleep" with the FKA Twigs. I was like, wait a minute, and like I liked
Yeah.
it the first time I heard it, but I listened to it in 2020. I was like, this is different. This is like a movie song. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy because a lot of artists like they get the short end of the stick for dropping projects that people don't really like or don't do too well, but then eventually like time goes on and it really like the replay value is very strong. Like songs nowadays, the replay value aren't really like as strong as back then, but when you have an artist like ASAP Rocky and Travis Scott and Kanye and Jay, like the replay value is so high because there's like substance to it. Like there's so much going into it. It's giving you like something to feel. It's giving you a message to hold on to. So it's gonna be timeless, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. All right. So going into the last of the make you think questions, what would be some advice that you'd give to an up and coming producer that is starting today?
Um, Bro, don't be discouraged because no one wants to use your beats. I mean, everybody goes through that moment. Don't be discouraged if you think your beats are ass. Like everybody's ass when they first start out, unless you're like that lucky ass dude. But you feel me? Just keep grinding. You're gonna get better. Like you can't get worse. Like if you're trying something as much as you can, as hard as you can, there's no way you're gonna get worse. You can only stay the same or get better. And 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna stay the same. You're probably gonna get better. So
I like it. That's a great answer. All right.
yeah.
So what is next after the deluxe?
Or Far From Home, my next project, the sequel to Kinetic Cutthroat. Um, Not really part two, but it's just I like to drop my projects like and have it reflect my life. So Kinetic Cutthroat is like my chapter in Connecticut, and now Far From Home is like, all right, I'm far from home, but you're gonna see like what I have to offer, and it's gonna be exciting. Hell yeah! I don't want to speak on it too much, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
be
me
huge.
too.
I feel like.
We're all excited for it to come out. So it's for us, it's the waiting game. I think it's best to, like have the rollout happen like it's supposed to. Never force anything to come out too early.
Right, for sure.
All right. So where do you see yourself and what you're doing in 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years?
1 year, shit. 1 year, I'd hope to be breaking into like the music industry if I haven't already. And fully living off my music. 5 years, I want to be. I don't know. I just hope 808 Mafia is fucking with me heavy by then. Like I hope like they're my boys by then. And then 10 years, I want to be like I want to have a Grammy in 10 years. That's
That
the
I think
goal.
that's a very achievable goal with the trajectory that you're on, bro.
Where I appreciate that. We working on it.
Hell yeah, bro. So are there any more shout outs before we end today's interview?
Well, shout out my boy Candrash for really helping me get into music in high school. Um, Shout out everybody that's been supporting me now since day one too. Like every little bit of support helps. Like it means more than y'all could think. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I mean, if you're watching, you know if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. So shout out to the people I fuck with.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, bro. This is great. I'm glad we finally got to talk, and it was honestly refreshing to be able to have this conversation. So I appreciate it.
No, for sure, bro. It was definitely overdue, but I'm glad we got it done.
Facts. And I'm glad that we got it done at the time we did. So this ends episode 94. So thank you, CT. I'll see you next week. What's up, CT? This is episode 95, and I'm here with Kingsis and Ray Santana. So how's it going, guys?